Hey everyone, welcome back. Happy Thursday. Hope you guys are having a great day today. So we got a couple things to talk about. Bitcoin, I didn't even know what Bitcoin did. I was busy researching on Griid and Cleanspark buyout. I was also researching the new appointment from Bitfarms for the board. So I didn't get a chance to take a look at it, but we can see here that Bitcoin was actually up today. So that was a good sign. Miners were a little bit mixed as well. But we'll get into all that as always, and then we'll get into your guys' Q&A side of things. So as always, you guys know the drill here. Not financial advice, for entertainment only. Please do your own research and invest in the following coins and companies for full disclosure. And if you enjoy this type of content, hit the like button, subscribe, helps me out tremendously. And let's get into it here with what we got going on here. So let me see here. I got to go over here. Let's take a look at Bitcoin and the miners here today. Bitcoin was up, wasn't up too bad. It was up 1.31%, so it wasn't too bad of a day for Bitcoin. We are still trading sideways a little bit here right now. We'll see where we go, but we are above the support line here at 61,000, which is good. And let's see, what else do we have here? That's basically it that I see on Bitcoin right now. I mean, RSI is kind of going up here a little bit on the daily. Not too bad, though. And then the miners today were a little bit mixed. We had a couple that were up, and he was up a little bit here. Argo was up 5%. Digital was up just slightly, 0.6%. It's had a nice run up here in the last, well, probably since, what was it, April 16th. It's had a nice run up here recently, so that one's been doing well. BitTF was up 5.73% as well. Bitfarms was down today, 2.26%. Cypher was down 0.48%. Cleanspark was down 0.19%. It was up like 3%, 4%, I think, in the beginning of the day. And then it kind of came back down a little bit here. CORZ was down 4.02%. Digihost up 11.63%. DMG barely up a little bit here. Who else was up? IREN was down 3.91%. Marathon was up 1.5%. Riot was up just 1% here. Stronghold was down 9.62%. Wolf was down 3.92%. So that's basically the day on the miners here right now. And let's take a look at what we got going on here. What do we got going on here? We got my kids running with the pet upstairs with our dog. I'm sure you guys can hear that. Let's see here. Okay, let's get into the stories that we have. So first story is going to be on Bitfarms. So Bitfarms announced its appointment of Fanny Philip to board of directors. That name just sounded familiar to me. It's like I couldn't quite figure out where I heard that when I saw it here. But she was with Sato Technologies. So, and she has a really good history record here, but we'll get into it here. So I think this is a really good get for Bitfarms for the board there. But here is what we do have. So let's see here. Today announced that its board of directors has unanimously approved the appointment of Fanny Philip to the company's board, effective immediately, which is nice. With the appointment of Ms. Phillips, Bitfarms board is now composed of 5 directors, 4 of whom are independent. So that's good there. Okay, so we got at least 5 directors. 4 are independent, so that's good. Riot, I think, is trying to put in 3 board members. So let's see here. So even if we include Ms. Phillips here, if she is for whatever reason possibly taken out because Riot doesn't like her or whatever reason, that would still leave us with basically a tie there, I think. They would have now composed of 5 directors, 4 of whom, yeah, so that would still be, let me see. So, I don't know. I'm trying to do the math here. I think it's going to be 3 on 3 with 1 that's not independent, potentially. So, Bitfarms might still have a little bit of lead there, maybe. But here's what we got. So Ms. Phillips is recognized as expert in blockchain technology field and an accomplished finance executive with an extensive background in audit, public company reporting, and mergers and acquisitions. She is the founder of MTI Consales, Inc., an accounting firm that provides outsourced accounting and CFO services. Formerly, she was the CFO and VP Finance of Canada Computational Limited, Inc., and the COO of Sato Technologies. As a former C-suite executive at a publicly traded company, she used to engage extensively in education and industry representation, advocating for regulatory changes and fostering deeper understanding of the sector's complexities among stakeholders, especially on reporting and financial matters. So a really good resume here. She currently serves as Chief Financial Officer at Solviago, where she oversees financial reporting and compliance and has been instrumental in various strategic acquisitions. Ms. Phillips holds a CPA public account permit and is the member of a mining committee of the Canadian Blockchain Consortium. Wow, this is really good. And the president of its Quebec chapter. So she's definitely got some good resume here on blockchain and mining and all this stuff. So this is really good. Let's see here. What else do we have here? Let's see. Okay, Fanny's appointment to the board follows a comprehensive search to identify a highly qualified director that enhances the board's skill set and marks significant progress on our commitment to refresh the board with independent candidates, said Eddie Hoffmeister, chair of the Bitfarms Governance and Nominating Committee. In addition to her outstanding audit background, Fanny's deep knowledge of the North American and European energy sectors and extensive experience across the fields of digital assets, mining, and AI will be invaluable as we continue to drive significant organic growth and capture a greater share of the global demand for Bitcoin. We look forward to leveraging Fanny's experience to maximize value for Bitfarms shareholders. So this is great news. I think this is actually very, very good news here. We'll see how she does going forward, right? But I would like to see her maybe take on a role like maybe what Fred Alfred has taken on a role at IREN, right? Where he's out there, he's talking with investors, he's out there, kind of showing maybe the path, the light, or whatever you want to call it, enlightenment of what the company's doing. I think that would be kind of nice to see there. We would definitely, I think a lot of people would like to see that as well. Somebody that's more forward with the company, what's going on there, and things like that, being just basically out there, available to the public, public and to the general investors, I guess you could say. Okay, so this is great news, and here is the reports from Twitter, and this is from Bitfarms as well. And I knew I had seen her name before someplace, and I was actually following her already from Sato Technologies on that side of things. So pretty cool here. And we'll get into obviously your guys' questions here in a little bit, but let's get into the Cleanspark announcement here. So Cleanspark announces agreement to acquire Griid infrastructure based on an enterprise value of $155 million and expansion plans of over 400 megawatts in Tennessee. Those will not happen until 2026 sometime, but they do have a path to it. But here's what they're offering here. So today, Cleanspark today that they had, Cleanspark announced today that they have entered into a definitive merger agreement pursuant to which Cleanspark will acquire all the issued and outstanding common stock of Griid in an all-stock transaction. The total enterprise value, including payment and assumptions of debt of the transaction, is $155 million. Concurrent with the signing of the merger agreement, the companies also entered into an exclusive hosting agreement for all currently available power, of which 20 megawatts will be allocated to Cleanspark effective immediately. Okay. So $155 million, if we look at the future potential here of 400 megawatts, if we take the 400 megawatts divided by 155 million, or 155 million divided by 400 megawatts, it looks like they're paying about 385, somewhere around there, 1,000 per megawatt. But they still have to build it out, right? So it's going to be, you're going to have to put in the infrastructure, right? All of the buildings, the miners in there as well, and things like that. But based on the 20 megawatts here, if we look at what could they possibly get installed there, right now at I think it's 0.02 gigawatts, that comes out to be 20 megawatts. They can install approximately 1.4 exahash of the latest generation S21 Pro miners, right, which are at 232 terahash, sorry, on that, right? So they have 1.4, so that would probably get them above the 20 that they're targeting here in June. We'll see where they get in June, right? But that would give them a little bit above that as well, that they can get there. And they're still targeting 32 exahash by the end of the year. So they still need to install basically, what is it going to be, 10.5 something exahash left to get going there. But they do have some other news here as well that they're going to get to possibly, I think they're trying to get 100 megawatts online this year from those facilities here. So under the terms of the merger agreement, Griid stockholders will receive shares of Cleanspark common stock based upon the exchange ratio equal to the quotient obtained by dividing the aggregate merger consideration by the total number of shares of Griid common stock issued and outstanding as of the closing date of the merger. Okay, so Cleanspark will assume all outstanding debt and other obligations of Griid pursuant to the merger. Cleanspark also provided Griid with a $5 million working capital loan and a paid-down bridge loan of approximately $50.9 million that was used to satisfy certain obligations of Griid at signing. The loan is secured and is senior to all other outstanding debt of Griid. Okay, so I guess they're kind of giving him a lifeline a little bit right now, it seems like. Going down here, as we look at how the rest of the year is expected to unfold, Bradford continues, so the CEO. After closing, we expect to focus on the best opportunities in the Griid pipeline. We anticipate that this will allow us to exceed 100 megawatts in Tennessee by the end of this calendar year and eventually grow that to 200 megawatts in 2025 before exceeding to 400 megawatts in 2026. So if they get 100 megawatts here, if we look at the numbers really quick, so it's going to be 0.1. That gets them an additional 7.2 exahash roughly, right? Give or take a little bit. So that's not bad. That's actually pretty good. So that would get them to possibly like, let's see, if we're including the 20 that's already in there, so that would get them to approximately like 27 exahash at that point. So they still need another, what is that? Another 5 exahash, right? And with the facilities that they bought here recently in Georgia, the 5 facilities, I'm pretty sure they're going to be able to at least get there, right? The only thing that's going to depend on now is can they actually build out in time and get it all done in time. But they do have now the megawatts to get there. So that's a good sign there as well. Let's see if there's anything else in here. There isn't. I looked into Griid a little bit here as well. If we look at Griid here, infrastructure, this is a website, company overview, I looked at their quarterly results for Q1. And I was trying to find out how much do they have for like self-mining, hosting. I couldn't find that in this 10K for some reason. I don't know if they have that someplace else, but I was just looking through the 10K. I was looking for like megawatts. I was looking for megawatts. I found that. But I was looking also for like miners, hash rate, exahash, things like that, just keyword searches. I couldn't find it. I was looking for miners. I was looking for ASICs, but I just could not find it. If you guys know what they actually have right now, I would be definitely interested to find that out. But here's what we do have here. So as of the date of this quarterly report, we have 68 megawatts of available electrical capacity in our New York City facility and our 3 Tennessee facilities, 48 megawatts of which are dedicated to self-mining sites and 20 megawatts of which are subject to the mining services agreement. Okay, so they got a total of 68 megawatts here total right now. And that's why I was wondering to see what they have actually installed in their facilities, but I couldn't find it. I don't know if I was just dumb and not looking in the right places or what. They talk about Bitcoin mining and things like that, but they don't provide the hash rate that they have right now, which is kind of strange, unless I'm looking in the wrong spots. But that is it. What do I think about this? I think this is actually pretty good. I don't know if they overpaid for this or not. Based on, if you look at future hash rate, let's see, if we look at, let's do the current. They have 68 megawatts right now, right? So what are they paying for right now for 155 million? So let me open my calculator here. Where is it at? There it is. 155 million divided by 68 megawatts. They're paying, I forgot to put a 0 in that one. They're paying 2.27 million per megawatt based on this. So I think they're paying more for the future megawatts than anything else to be able to build that out. As we know, megawatts are now kind of an endangered species, you could say. Hard to find those. Readily available, I guess you could say. I mean, you could possibly figure things out and maybe find sites that you would have to do the impact studies and everything else. That takes like 2 years or something to do. So something that's already in the pipeline is a lot easier to get, I think. Okay. Sorry, but overall, I think this is a good thing. This definitely helps the company get to where they need to get to for this year. And then the other thing is that they have miners being scheduled to be delivered this year to get to 50 exahash. So we'll see if they still go on a potential buying spree here to get to 50 exahash maybe this year, because they do have miners coming in this year. So we'll see what they do. Okay, but that is it. That is all I got for you guys. Pretty easy day to day. Not much going on here. So good news from Cleanspark, good news from Bitfarms as well. And let's get into the Q&A side of things here and see where things take us at that point. Okay, let me go back over to my screen here. Let's see. Warman says it should be 3,500 watts per S21 Pro, not 3,100 watts. If we look at, then that wouldn't work out, I don't think. Let me do the math on my calculator. Because those are supposed to be at, like 17 joules per terahash or something like that. Let's take a look at Bitmain's website here really quick while we're talking about it. See what we got from them. Let's see here, Bitmain. Because I believe I was using the numbers that Bitmain was providing on those. Or let's see your products. Let's take a look. So if that is, let's see, S19K Pros. Where's the S21 Pro? Okay, it is actually showing 3510 watts. Okay, so let's take a look at the numbers here, 3510 watts. So you were right. Where did I get the 3.192? So it's 3.5 510. Okay, so that would get him to about 6.6 exahash, right, at 100 megawatts. And if we go at the 0.02, that would get him about 1.32. Okay, so I must have been using the one of the older machines' hash or watts at that point. Okay, so that's still not too bad. 6 exahash and 1.3 definitely helps getting them to the 32 exahash thing that they need to get to. So thank you for that correction. I appreciate it. Let's see. Erica says, I've been waiting all day to see how you'd weigh in on this. Yeah, I mean, I think it's a positive thing. It's what we needed. We need infrastructure, so they're going to have to pay for it a little bit to do that. And this is all a good thing. That's, you know, if you look for the future hash rate or the future megawatts, I think they got a pretty good deal on it. Let's see. Hut's been on a rip as of late. What are your thoughts on price action? I think the price action on Hut 8, let me see here. Take a look at it really quick. So here's Hut 8 really quick. Hut 8, I mean, it came up to 1739 today and it came back down a little bit here. It's looking a little bit overheated on the RSI. I would expect maybe a little bit of a pullback here happening here, but we could still trade, sideways on the RSI, but the price still could go up higher. We'll see where that goes. And they've had a pretty nice run up here. They're still not as high as they were beginning of, well, last year in July. But this is, so last year they were still a separate company. Hut 8 and USBTC were not merged yet. They were a separate company, but they were higher at that point. So they still have a ways to go to get to a possibly new 52-week high here on the charts. But it's good. And the thing that's really driving them up is just the AI, I think, hype that's happening right now. Them getting the Code 2, 150 million investment. I'm guessing that's kind of what's taking it there right now. Let's see. Where do you see, I think you're talking about Cleanspark here, in terms of price in the bull run. My price target for Cleanspark is conservatively $70. Right, that's kind of where I'm seeing it. It could go more than that, depending where Bitcoin goes, things like that, but conservatively right around $70. Let's see here. Hi, Sebastian. Do you think the miners will be affected with the U.S. elections later this year? Thanks. I don't think so. You know, we've had, I mean, they've been through this before. They've had a Republican, they've had a Democrat, and it just depends on the cycles. Usually after the elections, the miners usually rip anyways, so I don't think it's going to get affected. Cask. You're saying Cask. I'm not sure what Cask is or which stock that is. If Riot insists on having a director position in Bitfarms, it may raise concerns about potential conflicts of interest and the possibility of information being shared between the two companies. Well, they're saying independent, right? So, I mean, typically you don't want people that would be sharing information with Riot, but you want independent board members. How independent can they be? I don't know if Riot appoints them. BitDigital and Hive price prediction of BTCs at 100,000 USD. So that's roughly a 50% increase from where we are right now. We'll give or take a little bit. At that point, where is Hive right now? Let's see. Griid, Argo, BitDigital. Okay, come on. Scroll over. I'm looking at the chart here, or the ticker down below. It is going slow. I'm just going to go over to Hive. Let's see here. Hive right now is at 317, and then let's see, what was the other one that you were looking at? 317 and BitDigital. BitDigital 335. I would say probably around $5 maybe for both of them, somewhere around there. Maybe $4.50, $5, maybe a target there. I think it also depends on where Hive grows their hash rate this year. They haven't been very, what's the word I'm looking for? Gosh, there's a word I'm looking for and I can't think of it right now, but very strong, fast, or gosh, I'm drawing a blank here, guys. Sorry. They're not as motivated, as basically what I'm trying to say. They're not as motivated to grow in their hash rate as maybe some of the other companies are. So we'll have to see on that one. Same thing with BitDigital. Same thing with them, right? They're at a little bit less than 3 exahash right now. They're saying that they're going to get to 6 exahash. We haven't really seen anything from them on that front either. Okay. Ray says Cleanspark. Yeah, so I was thinking Cleanspark then. Okay. Why is IREN dropping so low? IREN is dropping mainly because it's had a huge run up here, so it needs a little bit of a breather, I think. It went all the way up to, let's take a look at it. So it went up to 14.95. Excuse me. From the low that we had back here, it ran up quite nicely. It ran up basically, let me see it right there. It ran up approximately like 400%, right? And then, so you're wondering why it's having a little bit of pullback. This is possibly why. If we look at the previous low here, which was right around here, and the rally that we've had, we are up, where is that? Right there. So we're up 256%, so that's not too bad. And then how far down are we in the last couple trading days or so? We are down only 22%. You had a rally of 200% and you're down 22%. I wouldn't really worry about it, quite frankly. I think it's just a little breather here. RSI is coming down nicely on day as well. I think this is a healthy, good thing, right? You need these kind of pullbacks to then have a nice rally going back up. Let's see. Hi, Seb. Do you know how much money IREN makes with their AI segment compared to their BTC mining? Thank you. IREN last reported that they are making, I don't have my sheet up right now, but I believe it was like 1 million per month, roughly. Let's take a look at it here really quick. Let's see here. Go to my screen. We'll go to Finance, Yahoo. Go to Portfolios, Miners, IREN. IREN. And then their last report, let's see here. Loss May production update. Okay, here we go. I think they put it in here that they make 1 million. So I thought I saw it someplace here. AI cloud services, 882,000. Yep, there you go. Roughly about 1 million on that. Really good profit margins too on it as well. Okay, so that's kind of where they're at. Their other segment, we're looking at mining revenue of 15 million. So that is what, like, what is that going to be? At 1 million on 10 would have been 10%. So this is like 5% of the revenue, maybe something like that. So it's not very much, but it is an increase nonetheless, right? It helps. Okay, let's go back here. Let's see. I'm not sure if you answered or not. Any update if Riot can leave Bitfarms? I mean, there's no update on it, but yeah, Riot can leave Bitfarms. They can sell the shares whenever they want to, right? Let's see. Hi, Seb. The new board member seems to have extensive experience in M&As. Does it mean Bitfarms is preparing an M&A? Not necessarily. It could be also that they might be looking to buy somebody out, right? You always want that somebody on the board that has that experience to help with if you're looking to buy more sites, more maybe another company potentially, right? You need somebody on there that has that. But it's also good to have somebody on there that has maybe been through a M&A to kind of help you guide how to avoid it potentially, how to escape it. So that's always good there. Let's see. This deal really seems really good for Cleanspark, considering everyone was saying they had major reservations to find power. It seems to be prevalent with recent acquisitions by others. Yeah, like I said, I think this is a great deal. I wouldn't say it's a great deal, but I think it's a good deal. It's something that they needed to help them going forward. So it's definitely good for them. I said, where do you see Bitfarms in terms of market cap if BTC reaches 120,000? Market cap. Let's see. Bitfarms right now, market cap is what? Let's see. Take a look at here. Bitfarms. It should be like 1 billion. I think it's right around 1 billion right now. It is at, 1.03 billion right now. So if Bitcoin goes double here, I mean, we could see Bitfarms being like 3 to 4 billion, I would say at that time, as long as they can continue to grow their hash rate, right? And then they just put out a Twitter post today that they're racking and stacking more miners. They have a couple more shipments of the, was it T21s, I think they said in there, or was it the S21s? I can't remember. But they got more of those coming into the facilities in Canada there as well. So that's a good sign. So maybe they will get close to the 12 exahash by the end of the year, or by the end of the month. Sorry. Let's see. And yeah, here Patrick says this. Hi, Sebastian. Bitfarms posted they are installing new manager Comb. Also, they pointed out a new board member. What do you think of all about this? I think it's all great news. This is definitely stuff that we needed here. Let's see. Okay, I skipped a couple here. Darren says network hash rate appears to be dropping. Is it the Bitcoin price causing the network hash rate to drop? It's the network hash, Bitcoin price a little bit, right? Bitcoin price has been stagnant. Also, we're not seeing the huge transaction fees in there as well, right? So that's kind of hurting some of the miners that were relying on those, especially the ones that had the less efficient machines as well. So that's why I'm kind of seeing it drop right now. But yeah, it is dropping. It's down to like 500 something on average right now over the last 7 days. Maybe I'm here a little late, but what is the reason behind the sudden drop after the great start of the day? How got hit the worst? Just could be rotation happening, right? Profit taking. It's been up. Hot's been up huge here recently, so you gotta have a little bit of a pullback. You gotta have a little breather. Nothing can go up forever, right? Let's see here, Mark. How you doing? Welcome. Good to see you again. What's your opinion on Cleanspark acquiring gigawatt? Acquiring gigawatt? You mean a potential gigawatt? They're going to have potential gigawatt? I think that's what you mean. I mean, they're acquiring Griid, but I don't think they have a gigawatt, or not even a gigawatt. Or unless they came out with something new that I just missed. If that's the case, let me know down below in another comment. Do you think Bitfarms will energize 12 exahash by July 1st, Canada Day? They'll be close, I think. In the Twitter post today, they said that they have a couple more shipments to go of installing machines. So even if they get them maybe tomorrow and Saturday, maybe that might be close, right? I don't know exactly where they are right now. They were at 9.5 installed. They were waiting to get energized. We haven't heard anything from them on that, if that has happened or not. So we'll see. Patrick says, yeah, the T21s are being installed in Baycom. What is the meaning of green energy in mining and HPC? Is it difficult to raise exahash because the company is green? Well, green usually means that you're not using like coal, dirty things, coal. What else is there? You could even maybe put in there natural gas as well, but natural gas is a lot cleaner than coal is. But you're looking at like nuclear at that point, hydro, wind, solar, right? That's what they mean by being green. But I don't think that's an issue for them to grow or anybody else like that. I mean, in the past, what was it? Like 2-3 years ago, remember the company saying that Bitcoin that is mined with green or zero carbon or something like that is going to be valued more than regular Bitcoin that's mined with a mixture of the things. Never happened, never materialized as well. BitDigital going up or going down, your thoughts? BitDigital is 385 soon. Soon? Let's see here. Let's take a look at BitDigital here really quick. I think it could still go up more. Yeah, I don't think it's done going up yet. I think it could possibly go up a little bit more. But we'll see. It's up. Let's take a look at the chart here so you guys can see it as well instead of me looking at it by myself. But if we look at the chart here, it is from the bottom here roughly to the top. It's gone up 100%. Right now we're hovering at about 90%. I think it possibly still go up a little bit more before it needs a little breather. The RSI still looks pretty good here, so I think there's still more room to run here. I don't know exactly where it's going to get to, but we could possibly get to like maybe $4 before we have a little bit of a correction and healthy little break there. All right, going back here. Brandon says, maybe I should say the rumor of. So there's another rumor of them buying somebody else. Interesting. Okay. Well, we saw what the last rumor came up with. If we hear Mike Alfred talking about Gigawatt, I'll have to take a look at that, who Gigawatt is. I haven't heard of them before. Let's see. Aiden mentioned he is trying to get to 10 exahash and 15 exahash as the next step because of the peer pressure, but they will only dilute if it's cheap. Oh, that's interesting. I haven't heard that. Where did he say that? Did he say that at one of the conferences or something like that? Or I must have missed that somehow. But that would be great. If they can get to 10 exahash, they are at 5. That would be a double here from that. And the 15 exahash would be a triple, right? But I know they don't want to dilute shares, but I think diluting shares is a good way to grow. I mean, we've seen what happened with Cleanspark. They dilute crap ton of shares, but look at the market cap right now. You need to grow. The only thing is, I don't know if they have the room to grow in the infrastructure that they have already. They have mining sites in Canada, Iceland, and I think Greenland as well, if I'm not mistaken, for Hive. They may need to get some more sites in there. Let's see here. HUD joins the Russell 3000 July 1st. Yes, yeah, they do. I just saw that today as well. Let's see here. Mark says Bit Digital is a beauty stock. Yeah. So I guess he agrees that it can go up more. It is a long weekend in Canada this weekend. July 1st is a holiday. July 4th is a U.S. holiday. And the first week of July is Mt. Gox weeks. Not so optimistic about the first week of July. Yeah, but it depends on how many people are going to sell. Well, there might be quite a few people that sell if they've been holding Mt. Gox or waiting for Mt. Gox to release the payments to them. So it'll be interesting. Temporary blip, temporary speed bump in the path to much higher, but we'll be all right, I think. Patrick says Mt. Gox FUD is already priced in. Might be, right? But maybe that's why we came down to, what was it, 58,000 something here? That could be the reason why. Let's see. There's a proactive investor channel where they interviewed Aiden yesterday. It's on YouTube. What's the channel name, if you don't mind sharing? Is it Bryce? I didn't think Bryce and Anthony did an interview with Aiden recently. Let's see. And I think I'm caught up with all your guys' questions. Wow, today's going to be an easy day, if that's the case. But I'll definitely take a look at it to see. But yeah, if Aiden says that they're growing to 10 and 15 XS potentially, I think that's a great thing. They really need to come out there and come out swinging a little bit. Mark says Proactive is the channel name. Okay, cool. I'll have to check it out. I've never heard of that channel. Thanks for the tip there, guys. And if you guys are listening to it, it must be a pretty good channel. Okay. All right, I think that's it. That's all we got. What's tomorrow? Tomorrow's Friday. We'll see what happens tomorrow. If we get any news, updates, or anything like that, and I got to write down myself that I need to look at that gigawatt company there, see what's going on with that one. Let's see here. Do you think Bitfarms will start to play HPC and AI later on this year or next year? Bryce and Anthony had Ben on, their chief mining officer at Bitfarms, and he said that they are not interested right now in HPC or AI. So I don't know. We'll have to see. I mean, anybody can change their mind, right? If the right opportunity comes aboard, you can definitely change your mind if it's profitable and everything else, right? Let's see. Mark says that the one channel is Canadian channel, I believe. Paid promos generally used to watch them in 2021. Paid promos, okay. So you got to be a little bit wary with them, maybe possibly. Ed asks, are you going live tomorrow? I will go live if there's something that's happening. If we get some news updates or something like that from Bitfarms or something like that, maybe I'll go live. But if nothing's happening, I'm going to take tomorrow off. Friday's the day to celebrate the week's being over with. So, and I've noticed that a lot of you guys here are busy. You're out, to dinners, going out to movies, enjoying Friday night. So that's why I usually go, like, over the weekend I'll do either Saturday or Sunday when I have time, and then I'll go Monday through Thursday every day, and then Friday we'll see if there's any news on stuff like that. Let's see. 9 to 12 exahash of Bitfarms will stock fly. I think so. I think if they can get close to 12 exahash, they will do really well. But we'll see. See, Mark says, any news on Bitfarms Riot court date today? I have not heard anything from that. Have you guys seen anything on it? I don't know if there's going to be I wouldn't think there's going to be a ruling on it that quick. I think those usually take a while. Do you think Biden should be reelected if he can beat Trump in a round of golf? Geez, I don't know. Can they even hit a golf ball anymore? I don't know. I mean, both of those guys are so freaking old. They should be in a nursing home already instead of trying to run a country. That's just my thought on it. We need younger people in there. Maybe next time around we'll get somebody younger. Let's see. Oh, Ed says it is postponed to Tuesday. Okay, thanks for sharing that. So you're talking about Bitfarms and Riot court case in Canada. Okay, very nice. Thank you. At which price do you think IREN will pull back to? I'm waiting in at $10. Where could it possibly pull back to? IREN, let's take a look really quick. As always, not financial advice on this stuff. But let's see here. It's had a huge run up here. Let's see here. If we go from the recent, maybe move this chart over here. We'll put a new fib retracement on it. Let me see. I want to go. So we went up to here. That was our peak. Go back over here to where we started, roughly right there. And go back to here, something like that. So that's our recent one. So I'm looking at maybe if it goes down, it might go down to like the $11 mark, 10 something. Then if that doesn't hold there, we might come down to maybe around 10, 950, something like that. But I don't think that's going to happen there. I think it's had a nice downside here already to the RSI. And when we get closer to the 50, maybe that point will start to kind of go back up a little bit here. But we'll see. Hard to tell. All right. Let's see. Himanashi, thank you so much for the super chat or a super sticker. Appreciate it. Let's see. Is it a long weekend? It is a long weekend here in Canada. Enjoy. Yeah, everybody enjoying Canada. If you guys have, what do you guys have? Monday off then, right? And we'll have, the company I work for, we only have Thursday off. And we're going to go back on Friday, but I actually have Friday off. And then the following week I have off as well. Let's see here. Reading the order from the Bitfarms Riot case. Now, where are you guys getting that stuff? I was trying to find that the information there. Can you share that website where you're able to find that? I'd be grateful if you could. If Riot and Bitfarms got merged, would their total hash rate be at the, what would their total hash rate? So that would be at 52 exahash at that point if they merged. Let's see here. Mark says further hearing July 2nd. It says, okay, interesting. Ed says, I am so bullish on Wolf. Do you hear about the potential HPC contract similar to CORZ? I have not. I've not heard anything from that. But that would be, I mean, I don't even know. Wolf, they don't have that much megawatts yet to be able to do that, something that huge, that 200 megawatts. It would probably be not until either the end of next year potentially, or sometime in 2026, I think, in order for them to build that out. Let's see here. Good evening, boys and girls. Good evening. Super chat. Ed, thank you so much for the super chat as well. Appreciate it. This is the one I was talking about. Let's see. I think just how Cleanspark was cheap in 2022. January they had targeted for exahash, and we saw run 2 years later. It is the same time for HPC revenue for companies. They will 10x in 1.5 years. Maybe, right? Potentially. We'll have to see if that plays out that way. Okay. All right. I think I'm caught up with all you guys' questions here. If you guys don't have any questions, I'm going to call it a day. It's almost 10 o'clock already. Last 2 days, I've been going to bed at like 1 o'clock and waking up at 7, so I'm a little beat. Let's see. Mark says, Riot about to do some big moves, I think. Any particular moves you think that might be in play here? I mean, it'd be nice just if they could get to increase their hash rate and everything else. I think that'd be a big move on its own. Let's see. Ryan says, appreciate it. Yeah, if you guys can like the channel or like the video, definitely helps a lot. And that, we'll call it a day at that. I think we're done, guys and gals. So appreciate you guys coming in here. So tomorrow's Friday, like I said before. We'll do something if there's something going on in the news. If there isn't, I'm going to take the day off. And then we'll do something over the weekend, go over some of the metrics here, things like that. And then we start the Grand Prix of mining updates for June and next week. So that's going to be fun here. So you guys that have Monday off in Canada, wish you guys a great weekend there. Hope you guys enjoy it. And we'll see what happens other than that. Let me see here. Got a couple more things here coming up. Let's see. Out of the nanocap miners, which one is least bad? Which one is least bad? I would say at that point you're looking at Digihost, DMG potentially on there. I would have to do more research on Sato to let you guys know for sure. Same thing with Graphene. I don't cover those guys. So out of the ones that I did cover here, DMG, Digihost come to mind here. James says, thanks, Deb. Yeah, you're very welcome. And then Big Boys with Cool Toys Super Chat. Thank you. Appreciate it very much. Again, guys and gals, thank you so much. I hope you guys have a great weekend. Like I said, if something happens tomorrow, we'll get into it. We'll cover it here. Other than that, expect me to be back on like either Saturday or Sunday, depending when I have time. Okay? So enjoy it. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks. Bye.